Hello friends and welcome back to Too Many Minis. My name's Ossie. I play small games of war games at home. I can play a 3x3 game on my kitchen table just about fit a mat on there. I can play Kill Team on there, I can play Blood Bowl on there, I can play board games on there. But I can't play a full-size game of 40k, a full-size game of Middle-earth strategy battle game, a full-size AOS or the Old World, or a Song of Ice and Fire. Too big. But I own Realm of Battle boards, the old Games Workshop molded terrain boards, which come in these modular 2x2 boards, and you get 6 of them. I've got quite a lot of them, and I wanted to make a table topper that will go on my table and expand it out to hold those boards and have a lip around it so they stay in place, because those boards are kind of notorious for pulling apart from each other. That's not good. But I'd also be able to put a 6x4 mat or a 4x4 mat on there, whatever. You know, have lots of different options for playing war games at home and filming battle reports. So I set about doing it. I put an order for some timber in with wicks. Other timber merchants are available, but these are just using really standard dimensions of that you can just get. No cut to order, nothing like that. I think all told it cost me 50 something pounds for the timber. Screws I already had, tools I had, so those are, costs spent elsewhere, but the actual timber was like 50 something pounds. And I'll show you how I did it, so you can do one too if you want, because it's nice. I basically needed to be able to fold away or pack away. So here's what I did. So I basically start with 2 sheets of MDF. It's 9mm deep, so as not to be too heavy, and it's 606 by 1829mm, basically 6 foot by 2 foot. Then I take my timber, 18mm by 44mm by 1800mm, basically 1 by 2 in inches, 1.8 meters long. Clamp that down onto one of the edges, wood glue, and screws. I used about 2.5 centimeter screws, just enough to get through and get a grip on the other side. Not because I don't want them coming through the other side of the MDF, so it's a bit tricky. Also wanting to screw them right the way in, so they're not going to rub on the table below. You can countersink them and do it really properly if you want. I didn't bother. I just screwed them in because it's quite relatively soft timber. For the second one, I realised it was far better to glue it first. So glue, place it down, clamp it, rub a bit of the excess glue off with your hand. It's fun having wood glue on your hands. It goes all, you can rub it off. It goes all rubbery. Then drill and then screw. And you've got this, both sides, and they come apart. So you've only connected them onto one edge. Cut off the protruding excess. And you're left with these bits of batten. Cut them in half. And these are going to be your feet. So they're going to be where it rests on the table. Hopefully, if you've got a long enough table, it will rest on the edges as well. But these are going to do the bulk of it in the middle, stop it rocking. They need drilling, both ends. The gluing is pretty important, I think. Ultimately, that's going to do the work. The screws are just sort of holding it in place while that glue sets. Wood glue's magic. I haven't drilled these into the MDF boards. I'm just using the power of the screw to get them in. Again, make sure they're recessed. And that looks like that. That's the underside. Flipping it over, and you can see you've got That bit's flexible because it's not screwed in on the side, because we want it to be able to come into 2 parts. When you get it together, they line up well. And with the remaining piece, I'm cutting 2 65cm lengths. This is important to me to hold the realm of battle boards. I'm not going to put a rim all the way around the edge. I'm going to put it at one end, and it's going to, because it's 65, it's going to extend beyond one of the realm of battle boards and hold the next one in place as well, which is going to keep the whole 6 in place nicely. You're screwing into the, you're drilling into the end. I just put the screws through enough that they can hold their place, but aren't going to be screwed on yet. Then I'm gluing. Man needs a shave. And you use those little protruding bits of screw to find the holes you've already drilled. And you can see the lips coming up, I don't know, a centimetre or something, enough to stop anything on top, like the boards, from coming out of place. It'll also stop dice if you have a play mat down there. Depends on your rolling. Nothing's going to stop a really wild dice roll. Then we need to put the lip on the long edge. .8 meters isn't quite enough to go all the way along. So what we've got is a nice gap at one end. We're going to need chop this piece, spare piece we have left in half, and clamp one end down the other end. Again, glue, screw. Glue along the edge. Get that screwed in. You can see one that's finished with the rim along 2 sides and then the bit sticking out. And there's the other one finished. And you can see this is what it looks like together. So the rim isn't all the way around because I don't think you need it, but also it worked well for me from 5 pieces of timber. And less weight, easier for storage. And let's stick the realm of battle on, see how it looks. There are actually bits from 2 sets. I've got 3 sets of realm of battle boards, pretty much. I'm going to need to get them painted up into the styles I want. I don't want this weird blue one. Probably don't want this desert one, so they're going to be mixed around. But you can see it holds them all in place perfectly, so they don't move away from each other, which is the kind of problem with realm of battle boards on a flat table. And then when you want to store it, just pulls apart. And I've put them behind a door in this very room where I'm sitting now. And I can get them out and stick them on my table. So I'm super pleased with what I've done there. I didn't note in the video, but make sure you use longer screws at the corners. Basically, when the timber underneath is screwing into the timber underneath, you can afford to use a much longer screw. So I put, you know, a couple of inches into that, whatever. The 2.5cm screws are for when you're going into the MDF. You don't want to come through the other side. Even then, I think mine were poking up slightly. The points weren't coming out of the screws, but they've pushed up the MDF slightly. I can live with that, that's fine. I'd rather that than it not have a grip. Let me know if you've done similar things, or I've seen some people have done folding. You know, they put a hinge down the middle and they have folding boards that fold in half. I think that works. I think if you have a long enough table, you can just use 2x4, 3 2x4 boards and just sit them over your table. But I wanted the lip and also my table is rounded off at the ends, so the two sideboards would just fall off. Wouldn't be well enough supported. So this is a particular fix for my situation, but it might work for you too. While I was out there building it, I was like, man, we could do some garden hammer this summer. We can get some people around and play some games out on the terrace in the sunshine under an umbrella with the correct factor of sunscreen, obviously. But that's quite attractive. My next project is definitely to get those Realm of Battle boards nice. I want to have... I've got sort of 3 sets, but some mishmash. I want to have a grassy, all-purpose fantasy kind of board, possibly with more than the 6 boards. I might make it so that I've got... So it's possible to have a 4x4, which is completely flat, or even a 6x4, which is flat. So I might make it into 2 sets. And then I think I'll have a kind of deserty ash wastes kind of one. I think those are my 2 archetypes that I'll do. And then if I want to have city fighting, be it futuristic or fantasy, I think I'll want to get playmats for that. If you want to have that really densely packed terrain, I don't think that goes so well onto the molded boards. So a little bit more investment in mats, I think, but I'm keen to get there, and then I can really film some great battle reports. And I've got another video coming up about 40k terrain, which is going to be cool. Hope you like the video. I hope you're getting some games in at home. I'll urge you again, join the Discord. It's free. It's good chat. It's good people. Just encouraging each other with our hobbies and trying not to make each other buy more minis. That's not what happens. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. All that jazz. We're getting close to 1,500 subs. Hey! We'll probably do another giveaway at 2,000. You know, I don't think I can do a 1,500 giveaway. It's 2,000. But happy times. Thanks for your support. I'll see you next time. Bye.